Hi guys, welcome back to Beauty Wives, and we are going to do a tutorial for you today. This is actually a look that I did for some of my dancers who are getting ready for a recital, but I liked the look and I wanted to share it. I actually did it with a bold red lip, and I wanted to show you a more wearable nude lip. So this is by MAC. This is Lush Amber, one of my favorite nudes. Okay girls, so I chose to do a more neutral toned look today. Really, I want you to more think about the techniques that I'm using and how much makeup I'm wearing, and not worry about the colors so much. You can do what you want, and your tools are going to be the most important thing. So contour brush or crease brush, some flat brushes to apply color. That's going to be really important that you have proper tools. So if you are concerned or you don't have enough brushes or don't feel like you do, you can definitely purchase some inexpensive brushes. These that I'm showing you here are by Real Techniques. You can get at Ulta, and they come in packs of, they're set like an eye set and a face set, and these aren't Real Techniques, but the Real Techniques brushes run about $17.99 for a set, so they're an excellent addition for brushes, and I highly recommend them. You can also go to purchase e.l.f. brushes by Target that are totally acceptable, and $1 to $3. So if you don't have what you need, don't feel like you have to go spend a fortune on brushes. So I've already done my foundation, I've already done my eye primer and one of my eyebrows, so I'm just going to show you how I did that. And I am using this on Anastasia Brow Wiz pencil. That's just what I'm choosing to do today. I'm going to do short strokes going from the inside starting point straight up to my arch, which is going to be, should fall right on the outside of your iris and then down. So you don't want that arch to be right in the center of your eye. Using short strokes like this will be the most natural and will emulate your own hairs. You could also use a brow powder if you wanted to, and if you're not used to doing your eyebrows, I would recommend that because it's going to be a lot more forgiving and just a softer look. So this is totally optional. I am just taking this NYX shadow pencil in Milk, and I just put it on my lid as a base because I can get a nice bright pigment out of my shadow I'm going to use. When we're doing stage, it's really important to remember that you need that contrast, so you need the light and dark. So don't be afraid and don't overblend, but this is totally optional. So I'm just going to take this color from my Urban Decay Naked palette. It's the Naked Basics. It's called Venus, and it's just a vanilla color, a light vanilla color, and I'm just using a flat brush so that I can just deposit color right to the lid and just pat it right in. These brushes are really good just to lay down color. So this is going to have just a little bit of a pearly finish to it. And then I'm just applying a little bit right up under my eyebrow on the brow bone. Okay, so I'm going to take this palette that I have by e.l.f. It's just got a lot of great little colors in it, and I'm going to do this chocolate brown matte color. It's very comparable to MAC's Espresso, if you're familiar, and I'm taking a domed contour brush. This is one that I can just get right into the crease, or a crease brush you might call it. So right in the socket, you would just do that windshield wiper motion right through your crease. And if you don't have a crease, you would just do it right where you would expect to have a crease. Everyone's eye is different, so just know that it might not look exactly like mine as you're going along, and that's fine. I actually go in my crease and I pull it just a little bit higher because I have kind of puffier lids. So everybody's different, so just do your best. And I decided I want to just warm up that color a little bit, so I'm using this lighter kind of caramel brown just to blend it a little bit, just to give it a little bit more warmth. Okay, so I'm going back to that Naked Basics palette, and I'm going to use just a deeper brown. This is just, I'm using this flat brush to pat and apply some color right into that V, that outer V of my eye. I'm not using the same contour brush because I don't want to cover everything I've done. I just want to add some intensity to the outer corner. So you can see I'm not blending it over the lid, I'm keeping that white, I'm keeping the contrast, and that's the most important thing. In fact, I'm going back through here with that flat brush from the beginning to reapply a little bit more of that lighter color. So again, just really keeping the contrast because we're talking about being on stage. Okay, I'm taking my Jordana Fabuliner. This is just a liquid liner with a felt tip, and I really like these because it's like a magic marker. So if you're not used to doing a liquid liner, it's so much easier. You just really draw it on and you start really close to the lash line. They're a little more forgiving and easier to fix mistakes if you make them. As you can see, I'm making a mistake. But I'm not going to worry about it because I'm going to thicken the line a bit. If you like to use a gel liner, or if you have the gel liner from our team kit that we originally chose, you certainly can use that with a little angled brush. It's really up to you. This is just another option that I like. And I'm going to give myself a little bigger wing, again, because I'm doing it for stage. And I might tone all of this down for every day, but that's really up to you. So here I'm just taking my black eyeliner on the bottom lash line, pretty much in the outer 2/3, I would say, of the lash line, and then I'm going to smudge it in with, just to soften it, with this smaller brush that I can use to smudge it, and it just softens it a little bit. I don't usually use the liquid liner on the bottom lashes. It's just not as soft and it's a little harder to get a nice line. Okay, so I curled my lashes and now I'm just putting a coat of mascara on. All the DOE girls should be wearing lashes, and so after you do your mascara, that would be the time to do that. This is just my concealer that I'm going to clean everything up with underneath my eyes and anywhere that I need to conceal any blemishes, but especially under my eyes. If you have any fallout with these dark colors, meaning if you get any of the dark shadow falling underneath your eyes, make sure that you wipe that away with maybe either a baby wipe or a makeup wipe before you start this. Don't wipe it away with your fingers because you really just rub it right in, and then go in with your concealer. So just, you can do your foundation and then do your concealer after your eyes, especially when you're doing these dark colors, because you'll most likely get some fallout. And you can just conceal whatever needs to be concealed, and that's that. Okay, I'm just taking my MAC bronzer, and I'm going to definitely do a lot of bronzer. Remember, when you're on stage, under the lights, you will just be really pasty if you don't go pretty heavy with the bronzer. So really, honestly, probably heavier than I am doing here. And don't forget your neck. Don't forget your shoulders. Remember that when you're wearing DOE costumes, your arms are showing, everything's showing, so don't just do your face. Keep that in mind. And blush, I'll have all the product names and everything in case you're wondering in the description bar. So blush, and then I am also doing highlighter. It's really up to you if you want all of these steps. This is just an example of what I'm doing. This is the e.l.f. highlighter that I like, and this is one of those Real Techniques brushes. I use a lot of those. They have great brushes. So I'm just doing it at the top of my cheekbones, really where you want, as if the light were hitting your face, kind of above the brow, over the Cupid's bow, and the top of the nose. But again, this is totally optional. And I'm just setting this through my T-zone with some MAC translucent powder and my e.l.f. Kabuki brush. I really don't have to powder my whole face because I have pretty dry skin, so that kind of depends. So I just go through my T-zone just to set everything. And I'm using a more nude lip liner. I'm doing a bright red lip, so you definitely want to line your lips even if you don't normally do that, because you don't want it to bleed with these bright colors. But kind of a nude liner will work for most of your colors, especially the color I'm going to be using. And I'm trying to remember the color I'm going to use. It is MAC. And it is called Dare You. I'm not sure what that look was all about. My kids were running around watching cartoons, so who knows. Yes, Dare You. So I love this red, but you can do any bright color. Keep in mind it must be bright. Don't get any darker than this. You know, if it's too plummy and deep and dark or too brown, it'll just look almost goth on stage, or just like you have really dark lips. It won't look bright and it won't look very pretty. So I wouldn't go any darker than this one. This is kind of a deep red. And this is the look. Hopefully this helped. Really do not feel like you need to do this exact look or these exact colors. Oh, and also I went ahead and at the end took this pencil from the beginning, and I'm just doing it in the corners of my eye. It's a really bright pearly white, and I'm also doing it right on my waterline, my bottom waterline. This is totally optional. And then I also do a little bit right under my brows. Just again, more contrast. I wouldn't do something like this probably for every day, but these are the little things that up close might look kind of crazy, but look really good on stage. So that's that. So like I said, don't feel like you need to use every product that I'm using by any means. You can use any products that you want. This is really just about the technique and just tips to think about, and really an example of how much makeup you should be wearing, because most of you don't wear enough. So hopefully it helped, and feel free to ask questions